Hi everybody, it's John back again with another model final reveal video. This is the second kit that I've built in 2020, and this is the 1/700th scale Matchbox Admiral Graf Spee. The kit is actually PK 161, and I've got another model of Graf Spee to build, and it's an Airfix kit in 1/600th scale, and it will be quite interesting to see the difference in the detail between these two models. Because Matchbox have often been rebuked as being more basic kits, but I'll be honest with you, when building this particular kit, I actually found it quite detailed, and it looks like it's easily as detailed as the Airfix model, even though it's waterline series and it's 1/100th of a scale smaller. Um, The kit actually builds very, very easily. It does fit together incredibly well. But like most of my ships, I did paint the kit as I built it, especially the hull and superstructure details, which, because of the way in which the features on the ship's superstructure and all the fittings are arranged, you're actually better off painting the majority of the major superstructure parts prior to finishing the kit's fittings. And that's certainly the case with the arrangement around um, the forward bridge mast and the forward bridge mount and all the features that go around the ship's funnel. There is a lot going on around there. The kit itself has movable turrets, which you can see. They move quite nicely. The guns elevate. They actually hold elevation as well, which is quite nice. I don't know many Airfix kits where the guns hold elevation like this. And I'm going to try and turn this kit round to the side so you can see some of the detail on the model as well. And also what I want to do, actually I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because I want you to see the detail exactly as it is, because it's really quite incredible. You have got a fully detailed forecastle there, but the ship predominantly was painted in steel grey and eventually became battleship grey overall, and then it adopted a camouflage scheme just prior to her embarking into the South Atlantic, and then she was painted up in these light grey colours again, because as with most German naval ships, the colours were, especially in 1939, 1940 and 41, the ship's dazzled camouflage, and any camouflage pattern or camo pattern that was applied to the ships was very quickly painted out and replaced with light grey. This was to make the Royal Navy find it more difficult to identify German ships at sea, because the Royal Navy at the time painted all of their ships in light battleship grey. And you can see the detail on this model. It's actually very detailed indeed, and the ship isn't very big. She was supposed to weigh about 10,000 tons, but I think the Graf Spee popped out about 14, maybe 14,500 tons when she was fully laden and seaworthy. But I was quite impressed with the amount of detail that you got on the Matchbox kit. It actually is quite a detailed model indeed, and it does fit together very easily. And anyone who builds waterline ships for dioramas or, for any reason whatsoever, but they're particularly useful for dioramas. The Matchbox ships are actually quite decent, especially when you go away from the purple range Matchbox ships and go into what I call these ranges. I'm trying to remember, they're the orange ranges. Um, and when you go into the orange range and then later the red range of ships, I think the detail on them is really, really good. And I was quite surprised, quite pleasantly surprised when I was building this kit at the amount of detail that you got on it. And the ship does appear to be very accurate. I've seen photographs, looked at photographs of the Graf Spee, and she does look just like this. There were a couple of issues which I had because during the Battle of the River Plate, when the ship was actually scuttled in Montevideo Harbour, when she was engaging the three cruisers, the two Leander class cruisers and HMS Exeter, she she wore a scheme which was interesting because, as I said, she was light grey, but she was predominantly slate grey decking. But she also had a very dark grey hull, which prior to embarking for the South Atlantic, the dark grey hull also possessed a camo pattern to reenact wave patterns going over the bow and some parts of the ship further aft, sort of around about where the funnel is. And I think they were trying to make out that the ship was actually two ships at sea and very small. But they painted these features out and left the ship's side hull very dark grey. And that's why I chose this particular colour scheme, because I wanted to try and reenact the ship as she would have been during the Battle of the River Plate. And also, there are rumours that the German naval Arado spotter planes were actually painted in a slightly different scheme. But during operational service, the aircraft were basically painted light blue underneath and green on the top, sometimes a splinter camouflage, which I didn't bother with this, I just painted it green on the top. But the launches were predominantly white, but some of the larger launches, you can see the launches there between the funnel and the forward superstructure. Some of those launches were actually white with a sort of a wood tone teak, or maybe actually, sorry, it was like a mahogany finish on the top of the decks of the boats. But these were very quickly painted over in a camo pattern. And for some of the ship's voyage, they were painted dark sea grey. But there are lots of suggestions to suggest that the ship's boat launches were actually painted in the same colour that the Arado's upper surface camo pattern was painted in. And this again was to try and reduce the amount of definition that you got when seeing the ship from above, from spotter aircraft. And they thought that the green would blend into the ship's camo pattern more, but then of course they painted all the ship's camo pattern out in light aircraft grey, so it didn't really apply. But they left the ship's boats in green and white. But the large launches were either sea grey, dark sea grey, or matte green. So I painted them matte green because it was easier, and I actually think they look quite good in matte green, you know. So anyway, that's the story of how I came about producing this kit and the colours it is. And I am going to recommend this kit. I think it's a really, really nice, highly detailed kit for the size. It's easily as detailed as the Airfix 600 scale Graf Spee. And also, of course, you can build Graf Spee's sister ship out of this model, the Admiral. Was it the Admiral Shear? I think it was the Admiral Shear, which was similar in concept, but you can't build the Lutzow or the Deutschland out of this kit because she had a different superstructure section here. It looked very different. It was more spindle and spire-like in shape. So anyway, that's the final reveal video for this particular kit finish, the Matchbox 1/700th scale waterline series of the Admiral Graf Spee. This is a kit I would highly recommend. I very much enjoyed building this baby. She came out really nice and I was very impressed with the amount of detail on her. Anyway, I hope this video has been of some use. If you have any queries, questions, pop them in the comment slips like normal, and if I need to reply, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I hope all your videos, I hope all of your modelling projects are going smooth and your videos are coming out. I really enjoy watching some of your videos, guys. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. See you for the next one. Bye-bye.